Hello and welcome to The Good Life. Today we are talking about one of my most favorite topics, which is something I hear about from most people that I work with. It's actually something I've already talked about several times this week, is being over capacity. Or when you relate it to sleep, it is I am too busy to sleep, or I'll sleep when I'm done, or sometimes people get really hardcore and they say I'll sleep when I'm dead. So this basically means that your lifestyle is too busy to even have the time to sleep the amount that you need. For adults, on average, you need 7 to 9 hours of sleep per night. If you are so busy and your schedule is so jam-packed that you don't even have 7 to 9 hours to sleep, you are over capacity. And if you stay that busy and you are consistently that busy, you're never going to have the time to sleep well. I am talking to clients all the time, especially my busy clients, parents, people with busy jobs, people who add a lot to their plates and stay busy all day long. I am talking to them constantly about what they're doing, why they're doing it, and does it align with the lifestyle that you want to have and the person that you want to be and the habits that you want to develop with yourself. If you always stay consistently busy and you want to improve your sleep, but you are not willing to change your schedule and you don't even have the time to allot to the amount of sleep that you need, your sleep is never going to change. Today, I'm not going to try to convince you that sleep is important. If you follow me, if you've listened to my podcast, you know that sleep is important. Unless you're living under a rock somewhere, not listening to science and not listening to things, you know how important sleep is. So I'm not going to convince you today that you should be getting the amount of sleep that you need. I'm assuming if you're here, you care about your sleep and you want to improve your sleep. So we're going to talk about some ways to stay under capacity. A day is 24 hours. If you need 7 to 9 hours per night of sleep, depending on what you can get, what amount of sleep feels good to you, you need to set up your days so that you have that amount of sleep to get. And there are ways to do that. I have a couple of things that I talk about with clients a lot. We talk about priorities, like what is actually important to you, what is a need to do, what is a don't need to do, what is a why the heck am I even doing this? This doesn't even align with who I want to be and the lifestyle I want to have. Meaning in life, like what actually gives your life meaning? Why are you filling your days with all these things? Do you love what you're doing? Are you doing it out of duty? Are you doing it out of responsibility? Are you just like, why the heck am I even doing this thing? And then we do a ton of values work. So if you were to join my Your Best Sleep program, either the self-study option or the group coaching option or the VIP one-on-one option, I have 3 different options. We start with values, and I have an exercise that I take every single one of my clients through. Everybody really likes the results that they get from it because it helps you identify exactly what your values are, what is important to you, and then what isn't important to you. And then we get really, really crystal clear on what is important to you, why it is important to you, and then all the work that we do after that helps you align and live a life that is within your values. So a life that is within your values, a life that is adjusted to your priorities, a life that gives you a sense of meaning and a sense of purpose. And when you have a life like that, it's the kind of life that's going to allow you to sleep well. I mean, you can probably think about that and you're like, I can see why I'd probably be sleeping well if I was living a life that felt really good and really genuine to who I am. And it mattered to me, and everything I was filling my day with, or a majority of it, was like really, really important stuff to me. So this is work that I do with clients all the time. Because if you are too busy and you were overextended and you were over capacity and you are one of those people who's like, I only sleep like 5 hours a night because I'm just so busy, and you're consistently doing that, your sleep's never going to improve. Okay? It just isn't. It's impossible. Why would it improve? You only have 5 hours of sleep. You're not magically going to become some like half robot, half human that can run on like 5 hours of sleep. No. A few people can, a very, very small percentage is what the research says can run on minimal sleep, but the rest of us, we need that average amount of sleep to feel good. And we know that sleep improves every single area of our life. So why the heck wouldn't we want to improve our sleep? We know that if we can get that figured out, everything else gets better. So I have 2 tips, solutions, different things that you can do to start looking at your life and thinking about Am I too busy? Am I at capacity? Am I below capacity? Am I over capacity? Do I really need to change my lifestyle to allow myself the time to actually allot to being able to sleep well? This is one of the things that I do all of these solutions. I do all of these. I've been a therapist for over 18 years. I coach clients and therapy clients through these solutions. They use them and they use them to improve their life. I'm never going to talk to you about something that's stupid. I'm never going to talk to you about something that's ineffective. I'm not going to talk to you about something just to talk about it. Okay. You're only getting stuff that works. So this is one I love to do. I'm actually in the process of doing this right now in my business, and it's really fun and it's super helpful. What you're going to do is you're going to look at your schedule, you're going to look at your to-do list, you're going to look at your life. It doesn't have to be just business or work. It can be family, it can be social life, it can be romantic life, whatever it is. And then what you are going to do is you are going to challenge yourself to identify the 10 biggest problems. They can be huge. A couple of them are probably going to be the really big ones, but try to identify 10 of the biggest problems. And then once you've identified those problems, you're going to write them down clearly. Don't just think about them. You lose so much when you think about things and you don't write them down. Write down the 10 biggest problems in all the different areas of your life. You have the autonomy to do this however you want. And then what you're going to do is you're going to have those 10, and then you're going to identify every potential solution that you can think of for those problems. This is where it can be really fun. You don't have to be just very studious and appropriate. You can really challenge yourself to think outside the box, to think of any possible thing. Even if you're like, oh my gosh, this is a crazy idea, I would never do this. Write it down. Every possible solution you can think of. The funny ones, the out there ones, the more realistic ones, the ones that might challenge you. And what you're going to do is you're going to have a robust list of solutions for every single big problem in your life. And then once you have all that work done, what you're going to do is you are going to look at the solutions, and then you are going to pick some solutions and start implementing those solutions to improve your life. So this is going to do things like, sorry, I feel like I'm going to sneeze. If you're over capacity, it's going to identify the issues that are draining you, the issues that are causing you distress, and you're going to be able to identify some things to do for solutions. You're going to implement them and your life's going to get better. And then hopefully you're going to be lower capacity, under capacity, and you're going to have the time to sleep well. All right, so that is the first one. Second one, this is one I love doing. I love doing with clients. I love even doing with kids. Kids can handle this, especially your adolescents and your teenagers, but it's perfect for adults. I do it myself. So what you're going to do is you're going to get out your calendar, whatever that looks like. I have a paper calendar where I keep pretty much everything there. But when you look at it, what you're going to do is sometime over the weekend or whatever your weekend is, looking ahead at your week. So you're going to have an idea of what your week's going to look like. You're also going to self-assess. What are your strengths? What are your weaknesses? What are things that are easy? What are things that are challenging? Where are you going to find some things that maybe it's a day that's really busy, really stressful? Maybe it's a day where you are truly over capacity and you need to take some stuff off of your schedule, but you're going to look ahead. You're going to think, what am I good at? What am I not good at? What are my strengths? What are my weaknesses? What lights me up? What am I dreading? And you are going to plan for your week. Okay. This is kind of simple, but a lot of people don't do this. They just kind of shoot from the hip and just go, and they forget things. What you're going to do, you're going to look at your week. You're going to think about strengths, weaknesses, things you're good at, what your week looks like, and then you are going to plan for potential problems and potential issues. This is something that if you start doing this every single week, your weeks are going to get better. You're going to be able to look ahead and be like, holy smokes, this day is going to be really challenging. What can I do to take care of myself? If there's nothing I can take off of it, what can I do to take care of myself? What can I do to make this a better day for me, a better week for me, so that I stay more relaxed, so I stay under capacity. So if I am over capacity, I'm aware of it and I can plan for it so that it's a little bit easier on me and my nervous system, my family, my friends, whoever's in your life. I do this for myself, like I said. One thing I'm doing, and I'm actually coming up with solutions to make this better, but my Wednesday is super stacked. It's just a series of life events that have happened that I've chosen for myself where my Wednesday is a little bit much. And it's like, after a busy Monday and Tuesday, I roll into Wednesday. Wednesday's really hard. So there's some things I'll do on Wednesday that I wouldn't normally do on the other days just to make it better. I always pack my breakfast and my lunch to take to work. I'll set out my clothes. I will do certain things to make that Wednesday easier so that the things that might bottleneck me or stress me out just don't happen. My Wednesday is over capacity for me a lot of the times. But at this point, and for the last couple of months, I have not made the decision to take things off of my plate. But what I do is I look ahead and I do things to make that day a little bit better, a little bit easier, to make it run more smoothly, to take care of myself so that that day does not impact me in such a negative way. And guess what? Those are the days where my nervous system is more regulated, I feel better, I'm less stressed, and I sleep better at night. Being busy, it is a common, I'm going to call it an excuse, a reason, an explanation, an excuse for not getting good sleep. But if you are seriously concerned about your sleep and you want to get good sleep, this is something that you need to take care of. You need to make sure that you are not too busy for sleep. It's going to be impossible to hit a goal of getting good sleep if you're too busy to even be able to sleep the amount of time that you need to sleep. There's certain things that if you were a client of mine and you absolutely couldn't change your sleep, maybe we could try to increase sleep efficiency for 4 or 5 hours, but that is a short-term solution. The long-term healthiest solution is going to be to allow yourself to start living a lifestyle that allows you to sleep well, that allows you to have a full night where you have the time to sleep well. And if you have the time to sleep well and you're still not sleeping well, come talk to me. I literally have a program built for this. I have so many options. I have self-study options, which means you pay a low price, you get into the program, you do it all yourself to get results. I have a group coaching program where you get access to me. And then I have a pretty high ticket one-on-one program where you get access to me one-on-one for a long time to improve your sleep. There's lots and lots of solutions. A lot of you won't need a program though. You just need to tweak your lifestyle and to start taking care of yourself and taking care of your nervous system and doing some things that are good for you so that you can start sleeping well. And again, I said this podcast episode is not going to be about why you should sleep well. If you're listening to this, you're already invested in sleeping well and knowing the value of sleeping well. It improves everything in your life. If you are not sleeping well, you are not feeling good. You are not having good relationships. You're not having good health. You're not having good mental health. There is a serious set of side effects to not sleeping well. I hope this helped. Being busy, not an excuse anymore. You guys have some solutions for it. Let me know if you have any questions in the comments, and I will see you in the next episode.